Change your venue, same message. Yo, we back with Sha Skillz, and I want to ask you this. Part of your story is, we talked about your name, we talked about the reputation. The biggest artist that came out of North is Redman to the world, right?
Shout out to Red.
I want to ask you this though. I've always asked people what was their relationship with Red, because I want to show the world that when you think about North, Redman isn't the only person that came out of North. And please, for everybody out there watching, Heritage Hip Hop is not about North only. We want to talk to everybody in Jersey because we have a unique history. But the history of the bricks is one that goes even outside of hip hop. Not to go too far into this, the relationships of the people that you know and the people you've ran with is what helps define your reputation and your name.
Right.
Tell me about, well, did you have a relationship with Red? Like,
it's weird. I do. But you know, over the years, we haven't seen each other in like years. And even from stories from other people, I definitely know he still remember me. I know it could be kind of faint, but I know we had a time where we chilled. You know what I'm saying? I definitely know he know me and I know him. You know what I mean?
See, there's world famous stories of who Red is,
right,
and who people want you to think of Redman.
Right.
Like, he's a very revered symbol to New Jersey as a whole. And when you hear about the story of Redman, Do It All, Shaq, Queen Latifah,
right,
it's very special in the heart.
Peace to all of them.
Of the people of New Jersey. I want to ask you, having the name, the reputation, and the mark in the city, how does their names elevate the people from the city that people may not know when they tell their stories?
Say that again?
How does their name help elevate the people from the city that people may not know when they tell their stories?
I'm catching it. Let's just say it one more time. I'm trying to really catch your question so I can answer
In layman's terms, people know Redman. They know Redman from North.
Right.
Now that they're learning there's other MCs from North,
right,
how does that name, Redman, help elevate the other people who are telling their stories from the city?
It should show that there's some top tier MCs here, because he's definitely looked at as a great MC, a good MC, great. And I think these stories just show that there was other people there as well. It just shows he comes from a place where it really breeds that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's like that. You know what I'm saying? That could be considered great. You know what I'm saying?
Red is my favorite rapper from Jersey, as far as industry-wise. Non-industry wise, I have a different understanding because I'm from the state.
Right.
And I've done some homework to know what hip-hop is for our state. And I've heard stories of Redman acknowledging you and everything. So for everybody out there, salute the Redman, period. You know what I'm saying? This is not no
love but love.
This is not no red. We ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
And I only spoke about it in a light way because it ain't like I spoke to him in a while, but
I would still like to hear y'all get together and do something. I mean, at the end of the day, we're in the era now where people are combining forces and doing features and coming out with albums and things like that. And though everybody doesn't want to be the front man, it's good to be in the conversation though of people making things happen. What do you think could be the biggest thing that could happen for North right now to show the world that it has talent?
That talent being showcased, that talent being put in a position where it could be exposed to the world. You know what I mean?
That bothers me too, because then we're giving power to people to showcase themselves in a way where it's not structured. Like let me be honest with you. Social media has made the average person a star. No, I'm sorry. Let me say that again. The below average person a star. Because if a woman's attractive, she already has anything and everything that needs to be given to her. We already know. if a man shows enough clout or money or something of substance, he's gonna blow up amazingly, right? I heard Q-Tip say, or it was said to Q-Tip in an interview with Matt Hoffa, they said the industry does not invest in people who know and who do their best. They invest in people they can control, and because it's manufactured, they'll oversaturate you with it, and then the people of substance will get lost because they call it the lil culture. Then everything will be what people know about, and then because they're manufactured, unfortunately we have theories of people killing these new MCs off and recouping because then their albums will sell. You see what I'm saying? As a man who has history and a man who has substance, who's making music today, what do you think it takes to be showcased so that not only do people recognize what was, sees what is, and then takes that into a future what can be and represent the city and hip hop the same way?
Good question. I guess we just gotta keep working hard, man, and doing the best that we can do. It's a lot of political things, you know what I mean, that go on, but I'm the type that don't like want to deal with the excuses. If you asking a question, then that means it's open season for that question you asking. So it just takes us to start working right now and take advantage of opportunities like even this. You know what I mean? I ain't had this back when it's times when I was hot. I ain't had none of these ways that you can expose things. You know what I mean? Now.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
Be slide on in, man.
You know what was the main defining thing for me to appreciate hip hop? It was how I met
Knowledge Big B real quick, man.
Salute.
Or that.
Yeah. You know what helped me acknowledge and appreciate hip hop? It was going to church, and that's where we met each other.
Right.
No, it wasn't. Actually, I was your son's teacher.
Yeah. If you want to talk about how we first met, yes.
Yeah. And church made me understand hip hop in another way. Personally, then I want to go to your journey.
Right.
When I was a kid, hip hop was my way to see the world because I lived a restricted life. There was no music in my house except for the MTV thing. And then I had to sneak out to get music. I remember my brother told me, don't listen to the Ghetto Boys, that's the worst thing you could listen to. And I got We Can't Be Stopped. And I was a Scarface fan ever since. You know what I'm saying? My first music video that ever made me go crazy intellectually was Straight Outta Compton. I got introduced to Redman in like elementary school. You know, what was it? Not Chief Rocker. It was Chief Rocker, I think. That came later, and that's when everybody was doing ciphers in the laundromats. So, like I said, I'm from one part of the state, but I grew up in North. Intellectually, socially, etc., right? High school comes. Then I'm meeting people from all over, and it's like, damn, this is what it is. This is what I saw on TV. College, love hip hop. Everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. But it wasn't until I got into God, right? I started seeing the different aspects of what life is and how hip hop kind of reflects in it. And then we destroy it by putting the world into it instead of putting ourselves out into the world and making the world better. You actually stepped away from hip hop and you left that world to find yourself in another world. What sparked that? And tell me how that journey helped grow you.
Well, in my personal life, I was always battling with what you call good and evil, or right and wrong, you know. I always had both polarities in me, and it was very strong. You know, one day I could be doing something you never think that I would do. Mm-hmm. Another day I could be helping heal the world, you know, so to speak. So I always battled with that, and because of that, I wanted to get that right within myself. You know what I mean? I was starting to have children. I grew up in a community where we have children young, but I ain't had my first child till I was 26. Mm-hmm. So once I had my first child, man, I had to change, man. I had to, you know, I was coming home to something. Somebody was, you know what I mean, needed me. So that inspired change, you know what I mean? So, and it was drastic. Everything I do it be drastic. It just be like that.
Check this out. The first MC who ever touched my life was Moses. Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody watch Heritage Hip Hop knows I always going to some spiritual stuff.
Good.
Because that's what life is. You got to acknowledge the spirit that contributes to your soul, that contributes to your learning. I always say life is a classroom without walls, and experience is the master teacher that grooms your path. You know what I'm saying? And Moses was the first MC for me because, as y'all know, the world famous song "Two Turntables and a Mic." It was a KRS-One video where Moses is throwing the 10 commandments in the air, and then he going to turntables. It's scratching. Yeah, we must learn. I was like, yo, that's deep.
We're not done.
Then I said, let me learn about Moses. Hip hop was about the people who had not becoming something and being great. And that story of him showed me the story of a person who was given up on being at the highest level, brought to a low level, that made a leader who did not get to see the promises, but his legacy led a foundation of a nation that inspires the world to this day.
Deep.
That's hip hop.
Deep.
What was the legacy that touched you, that took your life to the next level in your faith and in your hip hop?
Wow.
Correct, be digging deep, right?
No, he dig deep. And he know, man, we supposed to do this interview so long ago, but sometimes I don't be wanting to get personal and certain things like that, but it's all good. I told the brother I'll do it, and so we gonna do it. So,
While he's thinking, make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on all social media. HeritageHipHop.com, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, all that. We out here.
Word. My bad, but you know, a brother try to use wisdom when he speak. You know what I mean? I try to be careful about what come out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Because you know the vibration that it carrying. So again, you ask something that brings me to something personal. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna just say this the best way I can say it for right now. We plan to do many more. My life an open book, but sometimes things happen in life that I would call it an activating event. You know what I'm saying? And I just been through a multitude of activating events, and those events showed me that a way that I was looking at life, even in learning spiritual things, sometimes the way you think a way should go is not the way that the source, the Most High, you know what I mean? It's not the way that he set it up. And I just realized I've always been an expressive person, as you know. Even when I wasn't rhyming, you see me still expressing myself. So because I'm put here to express things, it all merged together as far as the going away for a while, getting my bearings together and my morals and things like that, you know what I mean? And then still be able to come back and say that, you know, hip hop, rapping, all the epitaphs and names and titles that you want to give to people expressing themselves is a way that expresses, I would say hip hop is God from the perspective of what we say and what comes out of us is all coming from the Most High in one way, shape, or form. When a message is being released and it's received, and so we know no matter what ideological belief you have, there's prophets. There's always a way that the voice has to be heard. And so, although hip hop can be used negative, hip hop can be used positive too.
I feel that because there's people. Whenever you say something, you like something or you love something, you identify with it. I love the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I love the Torah. I even love the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I think that was a dope book. You know what I'm saying? And beheld the pale horse. That is crazy. But there's books, and hip hop is a book too, if you pay attention. because every episode or every chapter or every novel that you read in hip hop was the liner covers and the albums. And now that we can't read that information anymore freely, now you gotta tap on the phone. You missed the exciting part of line for line, word for word edification of who did what and how it affected you. You see what I'm saying? One of the most hip hop things I ever got from the written word itself never came from the New Testament. I think in the black culture, we're so bombarded with the New Testament that I feel it's like new hip hop to me sometimes. It's like people will force it on you, and until you get your own understanding of it, you'll never understand it. But the Old Testament, for me, the parts that when I was young we was told that doesn't count. That's where some of those lessons get real deep. My favorite book in the Old Testament is Ecclesiastes. Because it's a man talking near the end of his life telling you, like, look, I did this already. And that is the most, to this day, hip-hop thing I hear all the time. Is, y'all new to this. I've been did that. I've been here. I've been this. What is the one thing that you've always been that no matter what walk in life, it always surfaced to make you the man, the MC, the father, or the gentleman that you have always been, but people realize it as they experience you?
I think it's the love and the passion that comes out of me. I think, whether I'm rhyming, no matter what it is, that's what I've been told all my life. And I have experienced it and been able to see it from certain angles myself as well.
Love teaches and love hurts. So, B, I'm gonna ask you a question, because you've known this man for years.
True.
And he has a love for what he does, and he gets love for what he has done. As an artist, what is the one thing about the love he has for the art that you see in him as he records? And tell me a thing that you love about his skill from the past or the present, whatever, that showed you that not only can he do this thing, but he really lives this thing that he does.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I put the skill secondary in this nature because the skill come natural when it come to putting all of that together. Criticism of itself. That's one of the biggest things I see with him. You don't have to sit up and tell him, yo, that's not good, let's do it over. He already know. Or when he say, it'll be what you think of that. If he asking me what I think of it, then I know he won't do it over already. You understand what I'm saying? So I would have to say,
figured me out, man.
I would have to say he's his worst critic when it comes to this, to his art. That's what keep him on top. I ain't even going front. I thought it was going to take a little while for him to sharpen his steel. You know what I'm saying? But from the time we was last here up until today, the joint that we did today, I know he been on his craft. Because got pretty damn sharp. So I'm expecting the next time for me to get a couple razor cuts. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting over there mixing it down because yeah. Niggas coming.
I always say to close this one part out is this. I believe hip hop is God from the door. Because there's one thing that hip hop does, that God does, but we take for granted, and that's the power of speech. It was written in the Bible how God's words are like the rain. When it goes out, it don't come back. It just does what it does. You know what I'm saying?
Isaiah 55.
See, I know my stuff, y'all. So we use our words in hip hop a little too freely. And the thing I love about maturity and experience is this. When you take notice of what power you have, you start to check yourself and know the empowerment that you give to people through what you say. That's why I think Nas' King Disease 1 and 2 are great albums.
Love
King's
it too.
Disease 2 especially is a classic.
Shout out to
That's a
Nas.
classic. And the reason why I say that, because even though people say Nas could be boring and all that, it's the subject matter that makes Nas prolific. Because while everybody was shaking their ass to Jay-Z and he came out with 444, which is funny to me because when he always told Nas, what you trying to do, kick knowledge, and look what Jay-Z doing. Funny, right? It's the maturity of Nas, and I'm not holding him up as the best or whatever, I don't really care. It's the maturity of Nas that shows you that words can be more than just what you say to rhythm. Words can be used to teach, touch, and inspire. Shout out to Nas, Wise Intelligent, Pop, Paris,
Shout out to
The
everybody.
Cool, Chuck D,
Shout out
KRS
to everybody,
One.
man.
All, I mean, even there's people that people don't even know, like sa-roc, Jerusalem. There's other people out here who's talking the same thing. And shout out to Rhapsody and Neelam and sa-roc. There's so many. Being woke is trendy. But when it's something that you live, it's the authority that guides your freedom, not your liberty to use your talent. How do you exercise your freedom in your lyrics to let the people know that when they listen to you, they're not just getting bars, they're getting substance, message, and jewels, seeds planted to make them better from listening to your music?
Well, I mean, in this part of my journey, because I've been rhyming since, man, 1980, 81 or 82 or whatever, man. At this part of my journey, I like to be very stylish, very witty, and you know what I mean, drop some type of jewel. You know what I mean? That's all I'm about right now, is to be able to take that same street style that we love, and, you know, have some substance. Be actually talking about something, not just making words rhyme, but making them rhyme to make a story or a sentence or to say something. So I'm just trying to say something, man.
To be able to craft a verse, not only to have flow, style, presence, but to craft that along with a message. That's the epitome of it all. Everybody not blessed to do that. A lot of people look at people like Nas and be like, oh, some of the tracks Nas be picking, they don't be hot. To who? What you talking about? You know? He picked songs that's not necessarily dealing with people shaking their asses out on the dance floor. You know? He picked songs that coincide with the verses he got, with the lyrics that he got. You understand what I'm saying? To put his message across the board. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I always thought about music like this. It's peanut butter and jelly. That's my philosophy on music. Okay? What I mean by that is, you could take the wackest track and put it who we might think is the worst rapper. But if it makes a nice sandwich, it's a hit. Look how many songs out here. Just too much evidence of it, of the songs out here that fits that category.
Well,
I know it might sound crazy to you, but it's peanut butter and jelly to me. But it's all about what you're doing with it. Whether you're making something conscious, whether you're making that head knocker, you know. Basically, it's whatever your vibe is. But at the end of the day, does it make a sandwich? Is that sandwich eatable? Is it consumable? You know?
so for everybody that listening, we need more peanut butter and jelly and less liverwurst.
You got that shit right. You got that right. Yo, real talk. And I want you to give me your honest opinion. You too, Kareem. When you first heard Just a Friend by Biz, what did you think? And I want your honest opinion.
Over?
I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I know it was different. I know you probably asking because it was coming from a different vein, but I liked it.
It was just a real life story to me.
Real talk. I thought it was whack.
Okay.
I ain't even going
As far as lyric, if you talking about, you know, our lyricality and lyricism, it wasn't.
I thought it was whack, you know. But despite the fact of the radio keep banging it in your head, you know how that do. But it grew on me, not because of the radio, because as whack as I thought it was when I first heard it, I actually started listening to how everything was constructed together. The perfect sandwich. You understand me?
Shout out to Cool V, man.
You know that's right. Him and Biz. Rest in peace.
V, if you see this, man, holla at Skillz, man.
It's real
you already
talk,
know
man.
what it is.
You know, the matching of the two was perfect. I mean, it was the epitome of perfect. But that was my initial thought on it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Biz wildin', you know? But then I got to listening to it and I'm like, no, this is it. This is right, you know? And that's basically it at the end of the day. It don't make a difference what style of music it is. Does the verses fit the music? Is it making a sandwich? Is the sandwich edible? You understand what I'm saying? That's it.
Thank you for watching our presentation. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube family and hit the notification bell for updates. Please like, comment, and share this video.